Hey.
Oh, hey, Michael. Hey, did you see that video today of Cash Patel and Dan Bongino? Like, that was freaky. It's obvious that they were compromised and that somebody threatened them, probably told them, tell the truth. We're going to take you out or take out one of your family. If you were to take a guess, I wonder what do you think happened? If you've seen the footage yet, let me know. If you haven't,
Don't you just love this weather?
I'll send it to you maybe, or or whenever. Nice doggy. Play dead. I mean, there's a lot of speculation right now. I do think that something happened there, no doubt.
What do you know about that building over there?
What?
What's even not surprising is that many celebrities are saying things like
That's a
protecting women and
place. It's
standing
a
up for
murder
social
scene. I'm a
justice
reporter.
issues.
So what happened in there?
Another monstrum killing. You're not from around here.
No, I need information, which I'd be willing to pay for.
It'll cost you.
I gathered Vasily was some kind of art dealer.
More than that, he was involved with the Mafia.
Mafia? What makes you think so?
Lady, I know so. I've been investigating Vasily's activities for some time.
Tell me why he was murdered then.
Vasily found something they wanted and got smudged because he tried to hang on to it. They set the monstrum on him.
You say he found something. Do you know what it was? A painting, perhaps?
I don't know about that, but he was definitely silenced. The Mafia tidied away all the
While
evidence.
they have a lot of skeletons hidden in their
Now you're going to
closets.
tell me what the Strahov is, aren't you?
No, your credit just ran out.
Well, they're only doing what, it's just like...
You unsavory little runt.
You have a nasty mouth, lady.
What's your name, Mr. Reporter?
Luddick, my name's Luddick.
Tell me what else you know, Luddick, or I'll show you how nasty I can get.
Okay. Blacked out cars have been arriving all week, and there was a lorry convoy shipping in crates from Turkey. Something big is going on.
You're well informed.
I'm a professional. It's my business. I've got dossiers on all the main players. It'll cost you.
Okay, I'm in. You call these dossiers? Yuck! Do you know who that is?
No, he arrived yesterday.
That's Bouchard. He's a Parisian gang boss. I ran into him over a personal matter.
Really? Is he Paris Mafia then?
No idea. Who's that?
That's Eckhart. He's the Mafia top guy from what I can find out, but I know less about him than the others. They're all gathered in the Strahov at the moment.
All of them?
All 6 major players. Eckhart and the other 5.
Luddick, I have to get in there. Today. How would you manage it?
It's not easy. The place is heavily guarded. Security gates, cameras, ident scanners. But I could get an access code. I have contacts. It'll take me half an hour.
Okay. While you're on your errand, I'm going to start with Vasily's.
Be careful in there. And don't keep me waiting. It's not
Epstein have
healthy to
filmed
hang
people
about on the
engaging and
streets,
used them for
especially
sexual
where the-
blackmail.
Stay warm.
Well, I think that, like I said, it's initiation. When you participate in these activities, they film you so that you can't say nothing. Because they have control over you. And that's what's happening. And that's what's been going on for years. And I think that with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, the elites got to them today, and I think that, or whatever, and probably threatened them and threatened their families.
Celebrities have handlers.
Yes, they do. But these people say the right things, They say, and celebrities, it's an open secret, It's like, they're connected, that they have a common bond that no one that it's an unsaid, word. Like, think of it like, the party scene in your school. They all know it, but they don't talk about it outright. And myself, like I said, when I grew up in Victoria, BC, Victoria is one of the worst, drug scenes in all of Canada. And it's like, and before I was...
Didn't kill himself.
Of course he didn't. Well, look at the bodies of the Clinton Foundation and the Clintons. I mean,
He was probably murdered because he was about to expose the evil that's been going on the music industry.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, like... All right, I'm going to share this puppy. Just one sec. Sorry, man. Well, the signs were there. It's just like it was just nobody really picked up on it, you know, until but back to what I was saying, like you notice how quiet most of the Hollywood crowd got once those tapes were exposed, you know, especially of Diddy. It's like and look at how, you know, like Kanye West has been acting as of late. But granted, there's no doubt that, you know, Kanye, there's drugs, probably just other mental disorders. There as well. Pardon me, I'm just sharing this video, trying to get it out there so that people can see it. Well, I'm trying to save some money up because I'm going to try to pay for a friend to take some independent French classes. It's a bit pricey, unfortunately, but Well, the thing is, Michael, is I think that, people, you can't tell the truth. People are naturally afraid of the truth. That's the thing. So they try to deflect from it or not talk about it. If you bring up something true or something scary, it's not something that a lot of people like talking about. You know? Like, despite my issues with one Stephen King, and his antics and a lot of his beliefs, even he brings it up in a lot of his books as well about fear, and how people and desensitization, how people just don't care anymore, or they just don't want to talk about it. They know it's there, but they just don't want to deal with it. Okay, I shared it, so I had to get people to watch. So.
It won't open.
Ooh, knockout blow.
I want some answers, Bouchard. Why did you want me dead in Paris?
You were just a side issue. A loose end that needed tidying up.
Who ordered it?
A madman called Eckhart. He was putting pressure on all my operations. Threatened my family. Killing my men. You saw one of them at the church.
A psycho, huh?
The worst. Eckhart is a monstrum.
Is that right? What exactly were you doing for him?
I had to take delivery of a painting that was in the Louvre and bring it to the Strauss here in Prague.
My painting? That wasn't easy to get out of the Louvre, Bouchard.
Seem everyone's a loser.
So why Prague?
Eckhart is protected by a group based in Prague called the Cabal. They're almost as dangerous as Eckhart, and at least as insane.
I was told the Mafia ran Prague.
The Cabal use the Mafia front to distract attention from their real activities. But they're far more dangerous and powerful.
Dangerous enough to use the Mafia as a front?
Anyone too inquisitive about Cabal business simply disappears.
Like my friend Von Croy. What was his involvement in all this?
He was hired to look at one of the 5 obscure paintings that was in the Louvre. But he found out too much. He contacted Vasily, here in Prague, and they exchanged information.
I found Vasily's faxes, and 4 obscure engravings he sent to Von Croy.
Vasily originally had 5 engravings, but kept 1 back.
Why are the engravings important?
Each engraving contains an encoded map of a particular painting's location.
So one of those engravings told Von Croy where the Louvre painting was?
Yes, but your friend got careless. The faxes were intercepted by the Cabal, and then Eckhart didn't need Von Croy. It was another Luzerne to be tied up, like Vasily.
Killed like Vasily, you mean? Why does Eckhart do that to the bodies, Bouchard? And what does he want the paintings for?
I don't know the details, but it's something to do with reviving the Cubiculum Nephili.
The Cubiculum Nephili. The Sleeper. Last of the extinct Nephilim race.
You've heard of the Sleeper. Eckhart is insane. He thinks he can use the Sleeper to breed the extinct Nephilim back into existence.
There's no faulting his ambition, is there? So this 5th engraving that Vasily kept back is the key to the last Obscura painting. I'm going to take a look around.
It'll be well hidden. Vasily was very cautious.
Not cautious enough.
The map in the last engraving shows a location called the Vault of Trophies. The vault was one of the last Lux Veritatis secret strongholds, and Eckhart's been desperate to get into it.
A Lux Veritatis vault?
They seized all 5 obscure paintings in the late 1400s and hid them. The last one is almost definitely in the vault.
So do you know where the vault is located?
Only that it's beneath the Strahov somewhere.
And the painting is definitely there?
Eckhart thinks so. It's one of the reasons the Cabal built their stronghold there.
I'm going to take a look around.
Are you going to leave me like this?
Yes. Take a break. You've been running around a lot. I'll be back with the 5th engraving. My strength is increasing.
What's that? Said 3, so.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Honestly, the rest of the maple puzzle.
The Periapt Shards. Here's something about the Periapt Shards. They were said to be 3 weapons of light. 3 crystalline shards shaped like spearheads. No one knows how they worked. Tres Periapti conjuncti cum justitiae igne mala cingunt. The Sleeper, Cubiculum Nephili. It says here, the Sleeper, or Cubiculum Nephili, a stone cask, reputed to contain the last remains of the extinct Nephilim race, buried somewhere in Turkey. I have business here. I can't leave yet.
Everyone, 5, 9, 7. Alright. Just
I
what the
wonder
doctor
if
ordered.
Trump is gonna release the Diddy and Epstein lists.
Well, one can hope. But it's just, my concern is that, I mean, the elites who control the entertainment industry, they may try something.
What the? Where's he gone?
It should happen, don't get me wrong. I want to see Hollywood go down for everything they've done, but it's like,
What happens if the blackmail gets leaked?
What the hell's going on around here? Let's see if he's got keys to this place.
Without them, they have no one to control.
exactly.
I wonder if that key will fit here. Did you get me the Strahov code?
I told you, I am a professional, but I want the exclusive story. Events in Paris and whatever happens here.
Done.
This passcode will get you into the warehouse area. It's only a low-level pass, but at least you'll be inside the complex.
I can take it from there. Have you tried this code yourself?
Me? No, the place gives me the creeps. Workers have gone missing and all kinds of spooky stuff.
What goes on in there?
God knows. I'd give my innards to find out. But it's way too gothic for me. If you uncover anything, give me first shot at it, huh?
Sure thing.
I also got this. It could come in handy. The Strahov is one weird place.
A handy machine pistol. Gas punch reloader.
No invasion force should be without one.
How much?
800 euros.
Give me a break. How would I be carrying that kind of money?
Seller's market, I'm afraid.
I ought to just take it, you runt. Choke on it. Let's talk in the car.
The Strahov isn't far.
Well, I'm interested to see how this plays out, but who really knows at this point, because it's like, it's not just, Trump. I mean, he's got to think about his family, too. Like, he's got to make sure they're safe and secure because, like, I mean, the influence and power these people have is beyond measurement, I think.
If the Diddy and Epstein's blackmail gets leaked, what would happen?
Well, anyone involved in, is going to do everything they can to try to cover their name and protect themselves, or they're going to stay quiet for a while until it, blows over, or they're going to deny until they die. They're going to say that, they did nothing wrong, or they're going to compromise themselves and say, okay, fine, I knew, fine, I just don't, just don't release it. I'll do anything, basically, it's like, to save face, pretty much. I'm not saying it's right, but, it wasn't. I can't stand Hollywood personally, but hey.
I was never really a rap person, TBH.
I know you told me. I liked some of it, but I wasn't the biggest fan either. Like I did.
I don't want to draw too much attention to myself.
Rock and metal is way superior anyways.
Well, what I didn't like about a lot of the rap scene is like I didn't like a lot of the people who listen to it either. Like, I mean, I was an athlete. I do remember listening to, some of it back in the day. Like, I remember listening to Tupac, remember Wu-Tang Clan and stuff like that, but I wasn't that big on it, you know. I mean, it was popular in my elementary school, and it was popular in my high school, of course.
How was Corey Taylor for you?
I saw Slipknot 2009. I like Corey Taylor. I like a lot of Slipknot stuff. I do like his stuff at Stone Sour. Like,
Stone Sour is also goof.
Goof. That's okay. I know what you're trying to say. It's okay.
I meant good lol.
It's okay. Because I saw Slipknot in Vancouver in 2009. That had to be one of the better shows I've ever seen live. So, and like I said, that's one thing I miss about. Like I said, one thing I do miss about the big city life though was concerts and shows. It's one thing I do miss about it. And events. There was always something to do. Just when you live in a smaller area, you don't really get that. I mean, if I could afford to live in Vancouver, I would. I would love to go back to Vancouver. I could, but it's just not worth, paying 80% of my earnings towards rent. I mean, it's just not worth that. It's just not worth, like living in dire poverty. And you're thinking, I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of skill. I could work various jobs, but it's just not worth living like that. It's not healthy either. And if I were to move to Toronto, I mean, even though, like if you live in some of these cities, you'll be working just to survive. You won't be, you're not going to get ahead. The blue collar guys are being pushed out of the cities, like especially in Vancouver and Toronto, the tradesmen, teachers, doctors, people who really, contribute to, the economies are leaving.
Called Exodus?
Yeah, I saw Exodus in 2007 at Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver. Back when Robbie Dukes was the singer. The Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver is a really nice place to go see shows. I saw a few in there while I was living there. Well, if I take Montreal, Quebec, Canada, which would be a temporary move, until I get somewhere more secure and stable.
Dubstep used to be popular around the late 2000s to early 2010s.
Yeah, I remember that. But if I do like get into one of those areas, like position me to go to a lot of shows and events and stuff. So, like I do, okay. This summer I'm going to be doing some more, CFL games. I may try for an NFL game this fall. I don't know how that's going to go, but yeah. So. I'll let you know. But my goal is to try to get out of, because I can go anytime. I just need to get my French language down to a T. I just need to be more comfortable speaking it and kind of, so that I can work in some of these areas, because like the area I'm going to, Quebec, it's mandatory. It's not like it's not mandatory, but it is almost a requirement if you really want to be able to work there and live there comfortably. Where it's like. So.
Dead pedophiles don't reoffend.
Well, you're right, and I think that, but I think that the industry is controlled by them. I brought that up one time, and somebody said that, accused me of being a part of a cult of QAnon, and I'm not a part of the cult. I'm not a part of them. I'm not a part of any cult. It is an actual fact, but I just think a lot of people don't want to accept that. Well, obviously, a lot of people look up to these celebrities too, and filmmakers and such. Like I brought up the fact that Francis Ford Coppola, covered for director Victor Salva, the Jeepers Creepers director, after what he did, and people were dumbfounded by that. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, he did. He had projects and work waiting for him after that."
Jay-Z was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl back in the early 2000s.
Well, now I think that Jay-Z and his entourage probably paid that girl off and got her to sign an NDA. I never liked him anyways. And I never liked Diddy, so. And like I said, even though I wasn't the biggest rap fan, I mean, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my go-to, form of music to listen to. Like, it wasn't my go-to genre. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of them had some really interesting things to say. Like, Tupac had a lot of
In the
interesting.
state of music today, I miss dubstep.
I miss old music in general, and I miss that as well. I mean, at least, you know, there was talent behind it. I mean, these people have no talent at all. Like, it's just like. And, you know, look at what passes as comedy now. We haven't had a great comedy in a while. We haven't had a great, you know, like, because it's just stupid and childish humor, you know. And it has to be that way because our generation is so childish and stupid, you know.
The fame of these celebrities are manufactured.
Oh, they are. I mean, look at who the most dominant, you know, like, you know, musician is. I mean, it's Taylor Swift, and she's friggin' garbage. Like, one thing about music nowadays, I've noticed a lot of things. Something I thought about like today is like, you notice we don't get a lot of character acts or
Been in the
character.
music industry for almost 20 years.
Well, remember, she started out as kind of a country singer. Don't forget that. You know, I mean, like, you know, she was generic, but she just wasn't really. Well, it was just generic, and I just felt like she was just, you know, like she was just too young for me. Like, you know, I get somebody of a teenage range liking her, but myself, I was just an adult, so it was like it just wasn't really for me at all. You know. The one thing I've really caught on to is we don't get a lot of character bands or character musicians anymore. Like, boom. Like we don't get, you know, like bands like Butthole Surfers, Primus, you know, like we don't get a lot of those anymore, you know. Flaming Lips. Like, everyone's the same now almost. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That is fucking bullshit, folks. You saw that.
you heard of Asking Alexandria?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Cardi B has a history of drugging people and then robbing them blind.
Not surprising.
I don't want to draw too much attention to myself.
I better save just in case. Don't have to do that again. That was BS. Even though they polished this game up, it still does have some of the old problems that the old games did. You know, what the old Age of Darkness game did, that is.
bet she has a record deal and started making music.
Well, actions now are less dangerous than words. That's the ironic part. It's just like,
She's basically Nicki Minaj 2.0.
Well, it's just like, real talent is pushed aside, and mediocrity and stupidity is what, is what they push,
Exactly.
Protivník spozoroval. Slyšel si to?
Roman Polanski got away with S.
Yeah, he also got an Academy Award, too. Don't forget that. And, look what happened with that, the Jeepers Creepers director.
Roman Polanski got away with his crime.
I know. And what did he get for it? An Academy Award. Don't forget that, Hey, I'm going to send you a message regarding Jeepers Creepers, later tonight. My story. I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to get in trouble on here, but, it's like, I mean, the signs were there, like, we just didn't pick up on it right away because I didn't know that director was a convicted P, let's just say it that way, okay? But their signs were there. We just didn't really quite, you're kind of in the moment and you don't pick up on it right away. Yeah, now it works to climb down.
Criminals, sexual predators, pedophiles get famous in Hollywood and the music industry.
Oh, yes, I do. Because it's the big secret. You know?
Rather than actual good people. The ones who never commit crimes against children.
Yeah, and it's sad, you know, because even if they didn't do it, they're aware of it, you know.
What was Justin Bieber's parents thinking of sending him to the music industry?
Well, I think that they saw an opportunity to make money. It was lucrative. I think that they thought they didn't know, obviously, and you can't know everything, you know, like and considering everything that's going on, it makes sense, you know, like
Are they not aware what goes on behind the scenes?
well, I think when you the idea of being famous, the idea of your kid being famous, I mean, I think that to an extent they caught up in the moment, you know. It's very easy to do that. I think maybe they were naive, or maybe they were willing to overlook, you know, a lot of it, how dirty the industry was, you know.
Ian Watkins has committed crimes against infants and minors.
Sorry, I don't know who that is. Okay, what did I do? I think I forgot to unlock something.
He was a lead vocalist of the band Lost Prophets.
Okay, now I think that, okay, now that sounds familiar. Sorry, I kind of forgot. Sorry. Pardon me, I just kind of forgot about that. Well, the lead singer of Headley is in jail right now. And a lot of people were trying to defend him, I think. And I get it. You know, these are their heroes. You don't want to, you don't want to see your heroes, go down. You know, like.
he also drugged children.
Jesus Christ. Wait a minute, I think I remember now. There was a lead singer of another band that got in shit too. It wasn't just the Headley lead singer, but you know. I wasn't a fan of Headley, but I knew that, I mean, something about that guy creeped me out though. The lead singer of that band, like I always knew that something was definitely off about him. You know, just like my first clue was the song Kiss You Inside Out. It's like
His crimes are so disgusting to the point the rest of the band members disbanded Lost Prophets and started to completely cut ties with him.
well, I can't blame him. And the case with you know, like it's like the case with Headley was like I kind of knew something was up with that song, you know, like, you know, the lyrics are, you know, he says this in the song: close your eyes, shut your mouth, let me kiss you inside out, you know, and it's like, now I get liking rough sex, but then you gotta wonder, like, you know, it's just, that was a little off-putting to hear, and it definitely got me thinking that there's something definitely, you know, there's something's up here, you know, with him. And then shortly after, he got caught.
On top of that, one of the members started burning Lost Prophets memorabilia because of that.
I think I remember now that you mentioned it. I kind of forgot about it over time. I was just busy with all kinds of stuff at that time. You know, I kind of remember now. I was just, you know, kind of like in the process of moving, and then when I moved, that's when I found out, you know, shortly after I moved, that's when I found out that about my situation with my mother, and oh yeah, about my mother now. She's cancer free. She's healthy. She's going to retire. She's going to be moving away. So, and I'm going to move too. So in case you're wondering about that, now you know.
Also, Ian Watkins is spending the next 35 years in prison.
Good. Don't worry, I'll save just in case. Remember,
The women that side sided with him also abused their babies and they're just as bad.
Oh, gross. Remember, Insane Clown Posse doesn't know how magnets work, folks. Let's not forget about that. Magnets, how do they work? Pardon me, I had to throw that in there.
Insane Clown Posse.
Rap duo. They were popular in the 90s, but they really fell off. Well, underground, but Ninja X used to had an ongoing feud with their fan base. And I kind of had a feud with their fans as well. I remember arguing with a lot of their fans as well. But he's moved on from that. I've kind of moved on from that. And that guy I did a video about, what the fuck was his name again? You know, Undertaker Freak, 1127, before he went full SJW. You know, he rallied against them too, but they're not really a threat anymore because they're old now, and I think a lot of their audience has grown up and moved on, so. But I know that their fan base was involved in a lot of crimes. A lot. Because they would often do rituals for their band. They was just stupid. Their music was just trash. It was gross. It wasn't anything like. If they said anything about where's who? I do watch Ninja X a lot, but he's not really all that active on here.
Freak 1127.
Well, he's still in Finland. I just walked away from that situation. I don't really care anymore. He is the son of his own choices, and, I kind of regret making that video because I realized that I was doing what he wanted. He never answered any of my points, but that's why, SJWs don't do that. They just they just think that morally they are superior to you, And it was kind of sad. I didn't agree with him politically at the time, even before. I didn't agree with him politically. I never sided with him on everything, but I still liked him for who he was. But it's just, he sold out to the SJW cult, and he never. It was just he turned his back on myself and everyone that really supported him and was there for him. I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah, I said my piece about him. I can't remember what I said. It's been a few years now. It's just I kind of... But I think I was just calling him out on the fact that, hey, you bring a lot of it upon yourself. We make fun of you because, you make it easy to do so.
When did you started to watch Ninja X's videos?
I think it was during when I was feuding with, Juggalo. Well, Insane Clown Posse fans called themselves Juggalos. And, and we often would crack jokes, I think, and we kind of got close ever since. I just thought he was very interesting. I liked the whole, I liked the outfit that he wore, the mask, the sword. I thought that was really cool, So I was kind of drawn to that. we often comment. I often tell give my my input on some things, like what like current events and such. You get the drill. Like what's going on in my country, what's going on in America, his country. Just things like that I think we just kind of hit it off on. And he liked metal music, I liked metal music, so it was just kind of like I think we shared a lot of the same interests. I'll check his channel out later, see if he's uploaded. I mean, I know he's probably got and I'm not really on it. And a lot of people I've been following on here are not really active anymore, and I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of the censorship that's going on YouTube. Like,
people like EDP 445 just doesn't know when to give up.
Well, I think he's kind of you have to consider the fact that before he got caught, those were his golden years. That's when he had it easier and better than anybody. All he had to do was just sit there and press record, and that was it. He had the easiest job in the world. I wasn't shocked, to be honest with you. Like, I kind of figured something was up even before, just because he was making some really weird stuff, like saying really weird things. And then, I remember he was cheering when a player got hurt, and I'm like, and yeah, you don't have to like the team they play for, but at the same time, this poor guy's life and career might be over here, And you're just,
Is it really that hard for him to not talk to minors?
I think it's just basically it's just self-control. He has he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he can't help himself. Because I think in a way he thinks he can get away with it. Remember this better save. And he still has a lot of supporters, don't forget that. So I just feel like he thinks that all he hears is that his supporters, people that look up to him and listen to him, that's all that matters.
I can climb up on that. Those crates are from Turkey, Cappadocia. Just in case I fuck up here. I always make multiples just in case something goes wrong, like I accidentally save it, so I can just load it again, just in case. I've done that a few times, but yeah, it's
I think as long as they have supporters that they just feel like they can, that nothing's going to come down on them. I mean, yes, they got mass reported and finally got taken down. Like EDP finally got taken down again, but it's just like, you know. Gee, that's what I was afraid of.
There was this individual named Kiwiz, a Fortnite YouTuber, formerly called YouTuber, who has over 3 million subscribers.
That's gross, man. Well, that's the trouble with the internet, is it makes it so much easier, And these poor kids have no idea, parents have no idea either.
Yet he still have a fan base.
Okay, that's not gonna work either. Well, I think as long as it doesn't happen to them, like, I think a lot of the fans just don't care. It's like, well, okay, I have to, of course,
What was
jump
your
right in.
first video game console and the first game you've ever played?
I probably have to say, going as far as, believe it or not, Nintendo. And I think it was the first Mario. I think it was Donkey Kong, Burger Time. I'm trying to think of other games I played. Pro Wrestling for the old Nintendo.
The NES?
Yep, the original Nintendo. Well, of course.
video game I've ever played was Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance.
I loved Metroid. That's another series I that's one of the reasons why I still have a Switch, is because of Metroid. I have to figure this out.
I'm not strong enough.
Forgot how to freaking do this now. Great. I have to make a decision here. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Seriously. Like, Fuck, man. Just a second. I'm just gonna figure out how to do this here. Pardon me, I'm just watching the playthrough right now. I'm just gonna figure this out. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. mean, I followed the fucking plan and whatever.
My strength is increasing.
Better save just in case. Deal with this. Sorry. The area's clear first.
That's not any script that I know.
Okay, that is some fucking bullshit. Yeah, her best part being really tricky. Well, I love seeing her crawl though, just the same. Never get tired of it. There he is.
You can't keep me here. My paper will miss me if I don't report in.
Found him skulking around in the loading bay. Must have got a passcode.
There's the door on your way up, Gleason.
I have records on you, Eckhart. You can't hurt me.
If only there was time for us to read them together. But it's too late now. There are things to be done.
That was so hard. Yeah, right to this.
Slyšel jsi to?
And I stupidly didn't save one.
Slyšel jsi to? Slyšel jsi to?
Gassy drinks. Yeah, that sounds something. That's something you totally drink, folks. I don't know about you.
I wonder what needs that kind of security to keep it in. Wouldn't you know it? My route goes through that biodome. It's a long way round, unless I can shut the power off to that section. That's it. Better get moving whilst the grid's down.
Uh-oh. Problem is, you'll let it out. Man, that looks incredible. Oh. That's not bad. That smells. Yikes. That is some fucking bullshit, though. That is some fucking bullshit. Fuck, man. Fuck you. Oh, what? Fuck you. Jeez, this is fucking bullshit, though. Fuck's sakes, man. Alright. Let's go through here. Bio research facility. Here we go.
Wear what's comfortable, I always say.
Exactly. I think I'll just end it here, because I do got to work tomorrow, so